Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be discussing my double screen board splits and how that went. I don't want to get too close because they've been buzzing my face a little bit, and I don't feel like getting stung on the face. But as you can tell, I also did these off camera a few days later, and going pretty well. This one is quite active. It's kind of weird actually because I must have got more flying. Well, I was doing the same today. Anyway, I got, if you notice too, before I forget, I have a few of these obviously, as you can see, but I got entrances that are all different sizes. There's one there and on different portions of the hive. So one in the front, one in the back, on the sides. This one's two in the front, so one on that side, and bigger if you noticed. All right. And then this one, the original one, is one in the back and one in the front. Now, this one seems to be working really well. Sorry for the wind here, guys, it's getting pretty windy. This one seems to be working pretty well, but unfortunately, I don't like the entrance to the back. Because if I stand in front of it too long, I get a massive lineup of bees behind me, and I step over to the side, and they all go flooding in. It's kind of cool to see, but I don't really want to hinder them when I'm checking out the hive. So anyway, let me know what you guys would think would be the best. I'm going to obviously testing all three right now to see what I like. But as you can see, this one's really crazy today. I don't see a lot of pollen or anything coming in, but no pollen right now. But there's a lot of dandelions out. I got thousands and thousands and thousands of them on the property. Plus some little apple trees over there we planted, and some other stuff around. But so yeah, they should be doing fine in terms of resources. I also want to touch on, before we get started on this double screen board thing, the container. I just realized I left off, I think that was my last video previous to this one, previous to the other double screen board video, about the shipping container, what that's going to be. So I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll dub that in here, but let me get my veil on because this bee's been harassing me for 10 minutes. I don't want it stinging me. Okay, so I don't remember if I mentioned, as I said I was going to, but I don't know if I ended up doing it or not in the video. If I did, you won't see this part of the video. But yeah, the shipping container. That was going to be a hydroponics greenhouse thing for like lettuce and all that stuff. Not the funny business stuff, the lettuce and everything else, tomatoes. Well, not really tomatoes, but lettuce and things like that anyway. We were going to turn it into a 40-foot hydroponics growing place. But then I kind of got into the bees around the same time, so now it's there to house all my equipment and everything. I'd show you it, but it's just full of frames and all that stuff. It's not that exciting. Not organized yet. So, but anyway, that's what it was going to be. It was going to be quite the grand adventure, but I just got into bees more, and I think I would enjoy that more, so I didn't bother going toward the vegetable route. Plus, to make it worth our time, we'd grow plenty enough in like one row for us for the whole year, So I'd have to sell hundreds and hundreds of lettuce a month, if not like 500-600 lettuce a month to make it worth my time. And that was just a daunting task to try to figure out how to do all that. So anyway, the bee thing is much better for me. I enjoy it more. The lettuce thing I was somewhat enjoy because of the technology part of it. But other than that, though, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. So anyway, it's become a bee warehouse at the moment. So I thought I'd give you an update on that. Okay, got my veil on. Oh, another thing before I forget, I didn't blame Formic Pro. I did kind of blame, not the company, but the treatment for killing some of my queens. I'll go over that too. And the biggest reason why that happened was you're looking at it, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. A dumb mistake that I'm not sure why I made, because it's third season I've used this stuff now, but I will explain what happened there, because it's probably an easy mistake normally if you were new to doing it. And like I didn't read the instructions again this year because I knew it, and I still know it, but I messed up a little bit. So anyway, we'll go back to that in a minute. But yeah, this particular hive is crazy. I must have grabbed a lot of forager bees when I did the split. I'll check that one later too, make sure everything's on the up and up. I know the queen was in there the other day, so she should be fine. they accepted her pretty much right away, which is interesting. But yeah, this is my strongest hives, these ones here so far. These things have been around a lot this year so far. I didn't see them until late in the fall last year, so they're annoying. They're kind of ugly too. They are natural though, so I can't be too hard on them. But anyway, this I'm going to try to set you guys up here. But unfortunately, the wind keeps blowing stuff over. So what I actually might do, I don't know if I can though. No. Okay, I'm trying to, there we go. Okay, I'm trying to get you, it's not the best angle, but I'm trying to get it so that the wind doesn't blow this over. So hopefully it's, you know, fairly straight and stuff. Anyway, you'll get the point. So, all right, so again, I got the entrance right here to their hive. So I'm going to try to stand to the side a little bit so it doesn't bug them too much. But I'll tell you, I did something else too that I think is beneficial. Is last time when I did the 2 hives, I didn't have my burlap. I forgot. My wife mentioned that because I was trying to figure out something to put over like this, so when I open up the hive, both colonies stay separated as much as possible, just in case the queen's up there as well. So this is a great solution. I keep this on there. Poor bee got stuck in there, it looks like. Put this on there primarily just for extra, to keep down all the edges so that the queens can't get into each other's hives and kill each other. But anyway, so I did the burlap. And the only thing I don't like about burlap, if it rains a bit, it gets a bit moist along the edges. But other than that, you know, it's pretty nice. And as you can see, wow, see a lot busier in there than last time for sure. I'll spray them a little bit here. And I bet you any money there's millions of bees waiting for me to get in. Yeah, look at them all. Oh, you guys probably, I don't know if you can see them or not flying in. Coming in with pollen and everything, but there's like 30 of them waiting to get in. Maybe even 40. So I'll try to make this quick here so I'm not bugging everybody. But let's see. When I put this on, the queen was released and was walking around. So I know that she was released, just so you know. As you can tell, there's no cage in here. I did see that. But I want to see if she's laying now. And I'm assuming she very well should be. She definitely should be. She won't be on here, most likely, but put that down there for now. See, this is the main reason I don't like this entrance here. Because like I turn around, yeah, there's like 30 bees again. Yeah, look at them all. Wow, this hive is doing extremely well, though. Wow, hopefully you guys can see that, because I know the camera's quite wide, so it should pick them up in this area here. You might not be able to see them go in, but you'll be able to see them flying down there. That's them going in. Okay, let's see if we can see this queen and some eggs. Because then I can get out of their way. And well, we have to check the other side, I guess, too. So there's food, nectar. Let me come over to this side, actually. Lots of food, nectar. That's actually a big difference than last time. Oh, wow. This was a used frame, and there was some sugar in it from winter, one of the hives from winter. So you will see that in here. But like I said, this isn't going to be for us to eat or anything, so it's, you know, no big deal. But look at that. They have collected a lot. So they're doing well I forget what the date I said in the last video, but today is the 18th. So I think it was the 9th or something I did it last. I'll double check and dub it in the video here. But so that's pretty good in that short period of time. Now let's see. You're not going to see tons of brood or anything. Oh, the eggs. I don't know if you can see the queen on here or not, but I don't know if you guys will get this, but there's eggs in pretty much the entire frame on this side. So let's flip it over. So she's laying. I don't want to bug them too much. Food. Oh, eggs all on that side too. There's eggs on that complete side. So in a little bit, a week or whatever it is it takes them to cap it, it'll that whole thing will be full of brood. Wow, that is nice. Hopefully I'm not blocking you guys too much here. Just a better angle for the other bees to get back in. Okay. I'm gonna stop being lazy and actually use my tool. There we go, to get the frames apart. All right. Wow, yeah, she's done this one, laid in this one really well too, larvae and everything in here. So she's filling in all the gaps as well. Wow. These guys are gonna need to get their own little home soon, I think, already. They'll be able to take care of themselves in the next week or so. Maybe a bit longer, I guess, but we'll see. I don't see her, though. I don't know if you guys can see her or not, but I haven't seen her. I don't want to keep... It is quite warm today, actually. I don't have to worry so much. The brood should be fine. But with the wind, it can get a little chill. So I don't want to keep them up too long either way. I don't know where the queen is. Elusive. And this, oh, by the way, this queen I put in here... I believe this is the one. Let me see if I can find her, because it'll actually trigger my memory to which one it was. I believe it's a New Zealand queen, actually. They happen to have them at the local bee place that sells queens and all that stuff here. These are all eggs in here too. Holy wow! She's gone mad. That's awesome, though. Now, I don't know where she is, though, but she's obviously in here. This side's no eggs on this side. Okay, so they're leaving that to fill, but there's eggs all in here. Wow. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, but one of those things with beekeeping, it's hard to show some of the stuff because it's too fine of a, for my camera anyway, too much detail for GoPro style camera. So okay, well, I definitely don't see the queen yet. Obviously she's in here, but nice yellow pollen in there too. Oh yeah, nice pearly white larvae, whatever, however you say it. Depending what part of the world you're from, I guess. I don't see her, though. I want to see her just to show you guys, because then I can tell if it's the New Zealand queen, because I didn't write it down yet. I believe it is, but I'm going to be taking better notes, because I'm getting a little busier with stuff, and I don't remember everything as much. So she's already filled this whole nuke full of eggs, so I'm definitely going to have to do something about that. Why can't I see her? She's got to be in here. She's got to be around somewhere. Unless she decided to move on because there wasn't any room. Which, unlikely, but... Huh. Well, she's got to be the furthest one then. That's not helping. It's been quite windy lately. It's kind of nice. There's a nice breeze, but it's really annoying at the same time. I'm going to try to do this at least anyway. All right, you got to be over here somewhere. I don't see why you'd be on this frame, but you could just be looking for anywhere to... Oh, there she is, right there. Yeah. Okay, now this is a Kona queen from Hawaii. This one down below here, and the one next to them is the New Zealand queen. Okay, sweetheart. Go back in the middle. So anyway, that's up her in the top left there. Up there where my pinky's pointing at. She's going over to the other side. I'm going to make sure I don't squish her, so... There we go. So she's doing a fantastic job. I'll make sure that she goes in there nice. I got to get a fifth frame in here, actually. I should have brought one down today. Damn it. Yeah, so I'm going to put a fifth frame in here. Definitely give her more laying room then, actually. I better go do that today. So I'll do that after the video here. So anyway, she's filled the entire box pretty much. Put some more spray. Just so you guys know, what I do is I put water with some Pro Health in it, 2 tablespoons of Pro Health in the spray, which helps with mites and helps with nutrients and stuff, supposedly. But if you notice, I also don't use a smoker, so I don't have a need to, so far, at least anyway. But anyway, let's change the camera sides here. All right, okay. So we'll just check this one, and like I said, I put the burlap on this. I'm also going to try, they don't actually need a feeder, so I'm not going to show you a feeder on this one. I might show you me putting a feeder on the end one to try something new, where they share the feeding area. You put the queen excluder on, and then they can come up and feed, but go back to their respective hives. I heard it works. I'm a little nervous doing it, you know, just in case they fight or something, but you know, I don't know if that's a thing. I know that people do it and have done it, not in a nuke scenario that I know of. Actually, what am I saying? I know people do it and have done it, but it's a bit different of a scenario, so I'm hoping... What are you doing, crazy? Acting weird. Oh, you're stuck on that. This one's stuck on the burlap. Here. Oh, you're going to get yourself tangled up. What are you doing? Those on your legs. Yeah. There you go. Oh, oh. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to free a bee here. Oh, without squishing her, that is. Yeah, you got stuck on the burlap. I don't know how that happened. There you go. You're off. Let me get that out of there. There we go. There. All right. Anyway. So, yeah, you can put... I bet the bees are all piling up here again. Yeah, let's see. See them all going in? Lots of pollen. Nice. Yeah, they're taking care of themselves. I better get that 5th frame in there today. I'll go do that after. So anyway, as I was saying, you can put the queen excluder on, and then they can come up with a shim, right, and then obviously the lid. But you can put food on top, and they'll come up and share the food, and then go back into their respective hives. So it's something I want to try. I'm not going to try it on this one because they got enough food, and well, the other one did at least. And these guys are strong enough, I think, to be fine. It's just the weaker splits that I might want to try that on. Like, see, as you can tell, there's nectar. It's harder to tell because it's darker on this side, but it's blocking the sun a bit. They got nectar and pollen over there. Pollen all on the top there. So these guys might be okay, so I don't have to worry about feeding them. I'm going to put a 5th frame eventually in here, too. Maybe today, if these guys are strong enough right now. Let's see, she's laying. Oh, there's nectar, pollen, or bee bread and all that stuff, whatever you want to call it. And they're building up that side. That's all new, I think. Most of that's new build. Nice. Normally I wouldn't put the frame like that, but I had lots of pollen when I took it out of one of the hives, so I thought, oh, okay, it's a good frame to put in there. Because I had the pollen and everything. But as I mentioned, I don't use a smoker. The only time I've used a smoker is in winter, or I'm going to, I should say, use in the future, is in winter, because when you open it up, they try to fly out, and then it's so cold they die. So this way I can smoke them, chase them down, check their food, and then leave, and not lose as many bees that way. Especially in winter, it's the worst time of year to lose bees. Oh, eggs in every one. Yeah, there's eggs in every single one of these. All in here. There's a little cup there, but get rid of that. I always get rid of these. Some people don't, but I definitely do. Yeah, eggs all in here. Don't see her. Oops, I'm hitting the camera too. Great footage you got here. Oh, eggs in all of those. Well, not all of them, but all of these ones here. Okay, wind, you can go away. I don't see the queen. Again, I don't need to see the queen now, but I want to see if this is the New Zealand queen, which I'm 99% sure it is, because it was one of these two that I put. Okay, but I put the queen in. New Zealand queen. Now they said they're not sure the species, which is kind of weird, because they've been sending them a mixture, but she's quite yellow, so I'm assuming she has a lot of Italian in her, which isn't great for this region necessarily. Not always, but necessarily great for this region. But I want to give them a shot, because the Italians lay like crazy. Pollen and all that stuff, nectar. See if I can see the queen this time. Again. Oh, there she is, yeah. So she's right here, and she's yellow. So this is the New Zealand queen. And she's doing great. Where does she go? Oh, she is, okay. Let's put her back in so I don't squish her. And I'm going to get a 5th frame. These guys aren't as desperate for a 5th frame as the other ones, but I'm still going to get a 5th frame. Watch out, sweetheart. I'm going to squish you. You were near the top with all these other bees. There you go. There we go. Should be okay. Very gentle. All right, let's do a little bit of this and drink up. And again, it has thymol in it, so it's supposed to be decent for mites. But anyway, that's them. So as you can see, I think they're doing pretty friggin' well for such a short period of time they've been in here. And the queens, like I said, they accepted those queens almost right away. So very cool. Okay, hopefully the wind doesn't gust and knock the camera over. But as you can see, this is a great idea, especially for my climate, because like I said, we can get like warm in the day, 20s in the day this time of year. Sometimes it's, you know, minus this time of year, believe it or not. Very rarely by this week, actually, because this is May long weekend here. We get a long weekend. By this point, it's usually past any of the really cold days. But yeah, some years we can get, like in Manitoba a few days ago, which is a few provinces over. There goes the camera. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here so it doesn't blow over. Sorry, guys. Gong show. Anyway, as I was saying, Manitoba, they had some snow. I mean, it didn't accumulate or nothing, but it snowed. Some days they were at 36 degrees in some of the areas in Manitoba, right? So our weather typically isn't that drastic, at least in my part of Alberta, but we do get these fluctuations. And like I said, these double screen boards, means I can split earlier in the season because they can stay warm, right? Warm, like easier to keep them warm. So, because our nights do get down to pretty cold temperatures, 2 degrees, all that stuff this time of year. Now it's starting the upward trend of being warm all night even. So it won't be as necessary over the next couple of weeks, but it gives me a couple of weeks head start. Makes it a little safer to split that way. And I don't have to have as strong of hive or nukes to split because they can stay warmer. That mixed with the polystyrene hives, and they're great. Like in the winter, for example, it was minus 22 degrees Celsius here, and it was plus 4.6, I think, in the hive at that point. And that's not at the cluster either. That's just in the hive in general. So pretty good, amazing little, perfect for this weather here. So yeah, so the other big thing, the idiot move, I should say, I made. Let me grab it. Formic Pro. I don't know if you guys have used it before. I've used it. This is my 3rd season. And in my last video, I kind of blamed it on the Formic, and technically that's true, but it's not the Formic company or the Formic pad itself or anything's fault. I lost 5 queens. I treated 12 hives with Formic at that time, twice, 2 different treatments. So it comes out of the bag. Now this is the only thing, I know they clearly state this in the thing, and I'm not trying to blame them at all because it is totally my fault, but this looks like a single pad to me, right? It looks a little more defined now because it's a little dry, but they put 2 pads in one silver, like aluminum style packaging, right? And they put 2 pads in it, which is normal because you can do a 2-pad dose, right? Or a single pad twice. I do the single pad twice, but I forgot. I had a bit of a rough week too. We had to put one of our dogs down. She was 17 years old too, so not that that's an excuse, but I think I was just not quite paying attention, and it's really taken a couple weeks to do this, so partly why, I guess. But anyway, so you open it up, you get this, and I consciously thought, wow, these pads have gotten thicker, not thinking that there's 2 pads in there. So that in itself isn't the problem. So anyway, I treated them once. I thought I was doing my 1-pad method, the one pad method. And then I went and did the same thing again on them. Put the 2 pads again on them. So they got double treated technically at the full strength. And that was on singles too. Like besides, this is all new, right? It was on the single as well I did that on. So I lost 5 out of 12 queens, which isn't as bad as I was expecting, thankfully. Or once I figured it out, anyway. So just so you know, like I said, it came like this, right? These pads, I believe this is a double anyway. Yeah. See, as you can tell, there's 2 pads in there. They were just, obviously their manufacturing just keeps it perfect, right? So it's not their fault in the end. So I just wanted to make that clear so people don't think Formic is a a bad treatment, because honestly, I've never lost a queen until I did that. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. I'm not being sued or nothing, so don't worry about any of that stuff. I just wanted to clarify because I was kind of like, oh, maybe it's the Formic, and then I was thinking I couldn't use Formic anymore because I don't want to lose the queens and all that stuff, because there's people saying that they have, and I'm not doubting that they have or not, but that's why. I did basically 2 treatments when I was supposed to do just the one. So that's the fun of that. But so yeah, anyway, I lost 5 queens out of it, all in this yard actually. Actually, no, one in another yard. So yeah, just don't do that. Just make sure you open up the packages and split the pads. I know that's common sense, and it should have been common sense for me because this is the 3rd season I've done it, but it wasn't. So anyway, okay guys, I tell you, it's been a bit of a tough week. We had a bit of a backup. It didn't flood our house or nothing, but with our septic tank, and then our dog, being sick for a little while before. She had a heart problem, which we knew about for years and given her medication, but it was just starting to kick in over the last couple of weeks and stuff. And then just being busy, everything's happening at once here and stuff, and then doing this. But anyway, I was sitting there saying I need to put a 5th frame on this hive over here, and I just remembered the 5th frame is right here. Oh, I don't know, guys. It has been one of those couple weeks of my life that is very, very, very stressful or something. It hasn't even been that stressful. It's just a lot of work, a lot of, I guess, stress too. Yeah, with the dog and all that, and it is stress too. But just a lot of work and a lot of rushing around. So as well, on top of all that. So let's put these girls back together. Can't believe I did that. I'm like, oh, I need to get a 5th frame, and I just literally put it on the freaking ground. Leave a comment below if you do stupid things like that. Leave a comment below if you don't do stupid things like that and you think I'm just stupid. I don't know. It's ridiculous. All right, girls. Sorry about that. You get to go back in. I'm glad I remembered, though. I would have came back down here with another frame anyway, probably, but still. That would have been That would have been a pain. There we go. Okay. You guys are... Yeah, you're buzzing now. You want me to leave. I know. Okay. Okay, now we're done with this hive for real. Okay, so this one I split on Friday, a few days ago. So I don't even remember letting the queen, if the queens were released, because believe it or not, I don't think I did on this one, but there's a few of them I tested doing that, and it's not recommended for the most part, releasing queens right away unless they've been queenless for a while. But I did test it on a few, and what you do is you basically get the queen cage, put it in there, and then if you see them trying to sting her or they're hard to push off the cage, they're not accepting her yet, and they'll try and kill her. Oh yeah, that's another story I gotta go into too. I forgot about this. I'll dub that in a sec. Anyway, so a few of the hives went on her, and I left them there for a little bit, a couple hours, or not even actually, while I was doing some of the other hives, and came back and I could move the bees off easily and all that stuff. So anyway, I thought I'd try it, opened it up, and part of the story I'm going to tell you in a minute is counter to this, so just wait a sec. God, this has been a week. Anyway, so they accepted her right away. They followed her around, and you could tell they accept them because they let them in and they don't try to ball them and they don't try to sting them. So when they walk around, they kind of circle them. And sometimes they'll crawl over them and all that stuff, but they'll circle them and kind of follow them around in a circle around them. And that's usually when you know everything's fine. I'm not saying it can't turn bad at that point. I don't recommend releasing them that quick unless it's been a hive that's been queenless for a while. Then it's a little easier, but for the most part. But in my experience. But yeah, anyway, so I just thought it was hilarious. 4 out of the 5 I released that day, the first day I got them. And one was the one behind this camera. It was split the night before with the double screen board. Normally you're supposed to put a queen excluder on first for a day or two and then put the double screen board on and then introduce the queen. Well, I did it the opposite way around. So I just put this double screen board on and released, split into it. Which again, by the way, I wouldn't recommend. I know this is kind of jumping all over the place here, but I wouldn't recommend that too, because I had one of the other ones I did at my other location, and most of them bees left that night and went back to their or that morning, whatever, went back to their hive. So I would do it with the queen excluder first, and then if you're going to split it though with the double screen board right away, I would put the queen in right away, like not release her, but put the cage in right away. It tends to help keep them in the hive. Even the nurse bees left and went back, most of them at least anyway, in the other one. So, like I said, I'm fairly new to this. I'm not new, but I'm fairly new. In the bee world, I'm like brand new in the bee world with people with 40 years experience. But I do some things just to learn too, right? I try not to hurt the bees in the process, but I do things to learn. So anyway, just some thoughts there on this double screen board thing. All right, so hopefully it's straight. I had to put the camera on a bit of an angle because the wind keeps blowing it over. It's supposed to, I think, self-level, but if I'm a little crooked in the video, that's why. But the other story, by the way, and this is another thing I forgot, the hive I just showed you with the queens and stuff in it. Well, the one on the right side of the nukes there, the one calling on the right, I was just talking about doing that, releasing the queens thing right away. Well, I tried that on there, and I'm a glutton for punishment, so I did it again another day with some queens, but I tried to release her after being in there for a day. Well, they did not accept her. They started bawling her and all that, so I put her back in a cage, or caught her, I should say, to put her back in the cage. She then flew out. Before I could catch her, she just flew off, right? Flew out. And then, luckily, I thought she was gone at that point. So I'm like, oh no, I just lost the queen. She flew off. So then I'm like, oh, bummer, right? So anyway, I do up the hive. And then the next day I came back to check. Because I thought, well, you know what, maybe for some unknown reason she'd be back in there or whatever. And just to see what they're doing in general, because I knew I had more queens coming and stuff. So anyway, I just checked on them again, and what do you know, she's in there, and they're still fighting her, the poor girl. So somehow she must have flew up and then landed right back in the hive. But anyway, the next day when I went to go check and see what's going on in the hive, I lifted the lid, and she was actually on the lid at first, right? So I lifted the lid, and she was on the lid, sitting there, right? So I go, oh damn. So I tried to get her in a cage, because I had one sitting there. So I grabbed her, put her back in the hive, right, just to make sure she went in instead of flying off, because I knew she's a little flighty. And then she was getting attacked again. So I'm like, okay, this is not working today. This wind is just insane. Lucky it's fairly warm today, because this wind is getting dumb. This is quite blocked down here quite a bit too. Wind's coming from that way today, which is really strange. But anyway, so anyway, I put her back in there, started attacking her. She was actually making noises too. I'm like, oh, I gotta get her out. So I get her in the queen clip and bring her over to my truck to get her away from them. And she flies off as I'm trying to put her in the cage, and she's gone. So I lost her over there. It's not funny because I don't like losing queens money-wise, and she obviously wouldn't have made it. She would have passed or died. So anyway, I thought it's just one of those things this week where everything's just gone crazy. So, all right, guys, I'm in the truck now to get out of the wind a bit. It's not horrible wind, but I just wanted to make sure you guys could hear me. Let me know what you guys think of that double screen board method. I really like it so far, especially with our climate. It works nice. I can split a little bit earlier in the season, and then it's a little bit more. That method mixed with the polystyrene hives is it's a win-win. Like I was saying, that minus 22 degrees Celsius in the winter, and I had a thermostat, obviously, in one of them, or a couple of them. And it was plus 4.6 degrees Celsius inside the hive. So not in the cluster, obviously, but inside the hive itself. So it's pretty nice. At 4 to 5 degrees-ish, it probably means that they can stroll around a little bit, at least, and get some food and stuff. So I think it's a great thing. These polystyrene hives, not as durable, but a good solution. So anyway, let me know what you think about those, and let me know what you think of the entranceways, which one you would choose, the bigger one. I mean, obviously the ones on the side are better entranceways for like working on the hives, not on the back. And also let me know what you think of the nukes so far that I showed. I think they're pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool. I think they're pretty good. I think they're coming along nicely, especially the first one I did last week. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, actually, before I go, also let me know if you guys want me to keep putting trail cam footage at the end of my videos. The last couple I haven't. People do watch them by the stats. I can tell like what parts of the video are being watched and everything. But let me know if you guys want to keep seeing the trail cam footage mixed in throughout the video or at the end or whatever. Just let me know, because I do enjoy putting them in there, so I might put them in there regardless. But anyway, let me know if you like them. All right, talk to you later.